Okay, I'm going to discuss briefly about the immune system and why I think it is the central target of ME/CFS. There's clear indication through multiple journal articles that there can be a whole host of different pathogens that is stimulating a systemic or system-wide response. They looked profusely at viral entities, and there were a number of studies that were done, and they thought they had identified a particular virus, say the Epstein-Barr virus, and that was quite popular for a bit of time. But then it comes to find out that there can be a whole host of other type of pathogens. It can be bacteria, rogue bacteria, and there's some subsets of that. Could be yeast, fungal infections, can be parasitic. I spent a great amount of time on parasitic studies. But all those trigger and stimulate the immune response. And the immune response is dependent upon a number of other factors. It's not necessarily an independent system, but it's particularly interlinked with other systems. One of the systems I have not gone through is the adrenal responses, which is quite important. Adrenals are little glands that sit above your kidneys that produce a whole host of hormones, like cortisol. But that's just one of them. There's androgens, which are related to estrogen, testosterone. There's catecholamines. There's a whole bunch of them. But the adrenals are largely intertwined with immunity. And so there seems to be, I guess what I'm getting at is this whole idea of systemic responses to a problem. I had worked with an athlete who was injured from vaccines, and he deteriorated. We worked from the same information I'm providing in this series. He was able to improve his situation, he claimed, by 40%. Then we did, or I suggested to him that he do a therapy, which I'll keep it brief, that would target the virus. And it was from that point that he accelerated, and now he's back to the point of normalcy. But jumping and trying to take immune therapies without supporting the body of the things that I'm mentioning here in the series, I think personally, and from my own personal experiences, was a mistake. I think that the whole systems have to be tightened up, buffered, strengthened. Then your body is much more able to mount a more effective attack. Whether or not these items mentioned are enough to finally break it is questionable. It's possible. But a lot of the new information that's coming out strictly is focused on the gut and what's happening in the gut. And I'll mention short-chain fatty acids, which are molecules that are secreted by certain gut bacteria, are essential for all kinds of health. And they not only help the gut, but they help the brain, they help the metabolism, they help everything. Those studies that were done are clear that people with ME/CFS are very short on these particular bacteria that are essential for human health. And there's some discussion, I actually covered this in a YouTube series, of why that's happening. So some of these, like we'll get into tight junction proteins, and we'll discuss some of that, helping produce some of these healthier bacteria. And we'll cover, antioxidants and binders, all these different things. But because the immune system is so complex and there's so many factors involved in it, I'm kind of just hitting on this briefly, but I do want to emphasize that I think it is the central part of ME/CFS.